Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Virginia from Montessori Farm School. We're going to talk about Kids in the Kitchen, which is such an amazing experience for your child on quarantine, for your child anytime, for your Montessori child. The kitchen really is a perfect classroom. It has everything. It has science and math and literacy and drama, epic failures, sensational success, sometimes opportunities to learn and to grow and to be resilient and to problem solve and to lean in and be friendly with error, which we all want to be more friendly with. You know, food is where we connect. We nourish our children and our community with food, and it is just how we celebrate and how we console in times of trouble and loss. And it is really just a wonderful way to help your child be more independent and to kind of connect with them on a better level and to raise children that are going to walk away from your house someday and know how to feed their friends and their community and why it's important. There's so many senses that are involved in the kitchen, and there's motor skills too, but really the sights and the smells and the tastes are what are going to stay with your child long after you leave the kitchen. And so I encourage you to look at any and all the ways that you can utilize this time at home as a time that's fun in the kitchen. Before I get into some of the tips and tools that I have, and let me say this is not an exhaustive video of every kind of food prep and food activity you can do with your child. It's just to kind of give you an entry point. And this is a great entry point too. I love everything written by Charity Curley Matthews. This is Kid Chef Junior Bakes. She is a friend, but she's also a Montessori parent who her first child was with us at Montessori Farm School. She has a great website called foodlets.com. And I just wanted to read you a little bit of what she wrote because it's so spot on, really. And I'm looking for my note to grown-ups. I think I went right past it. Did I? It might be a little further in. There it is. I knew I had it, y'all. Okay, a note to grown-ups. It says, as a mom to 4 small children, my best advice about baking with kids is simple. Don't underestimate them. That's what we say all the time in Montessori. They can do much more than we realize if we just give them the chance. And she also goes on to say cooking requires patience, curiosity, and gumption. Her books are great. You can get them on Amazon or at foodlets.com. This is a super one that I know her older children are baking very independently from, and yours can too at some point. One of the things that Charity recommends, and I wholeheartedly agree, is always having a garbage bowl on hand. Preparation is the key to having a good time and a lot of success in your kitchen adventures. Have a bowl where all the things are going to go so that you can clean as you go. Prior to being a Montessori teacher, I worked in restaurants. I've worked with award-winning, James Beard award-winning chefs, and I have a chef for a husband who is an amazingly talented person, and they always clean as they go. Also, Charity recommends, and I think it's great, having a wet towel on hand for those sticky hands, so that before they touch something else, they can clean up easily. I recommend having a whole pile of towels, some dry ones and a couple of wet ones, so that you can totally be in your zone. Get your kitchen, obviously I'm not in my kitchen, I'm in my office. Get it totally prepared before you begin and have your ingredients out, the tools that you will need, and think through the steps so that you have what chefs call mise en place, everything ready and on hand. And so that, again, will help your success, and also choose your time of day wisely. But when we think about kids doing work at the food prep work at home versus food prep at school, there's a major difference in kind of that they can come alongside you and plug into what you're doing, or you could collaborate together on something that is completely inspired by them. You're not going to have trays set up all the time with apple cutting, celery cutting, carrot cutting. You might have the kitchen that is set up for that, but I think it is really going to be while you're home and on quarantine and you're the Montessori teacher, it's going to be more in response to feeding yourselves, feeding your family, and connecting with your child during this time. So, find a way that they can do that. I also want to say, please be safe. Always only adapt what is safe for your individual child at the age and stage that they are, and children should always be supervised in the kitchen. So keep those things in mind. So I want to show you some of the great things that will help you have fun along the way. And this video is inspired by what we're doing, and it seems disconnected, but because we're studying insects in the classroom. I have this idea that later today, on this beautiful sunny day, I am going to make a little butterfly spa and cafe. And for that, I'm going to give them what's left over from some food prep that I'm going to do. The butterflies, we know, the children know that they like sweet things like flower nectar, but they will also eat from fruit. And they like color too. So I thought about that. You may be limited in what you have available to you. I happen to be able to source some great things right from my own kitchen. So let's talk about that. You could begin your day with your child maybe preparing a fruit salad for snack later, or for their breakfast, or for the whole family's breakfast, and you can work together. If you have grapes, this is something I wanted to show to you guys. I think it's really cool. It's a little grape slicer that a family gave us. I've never used it before, but now we're using it all the time in the classroom. So when grapes come in and we want to serve them, the children get them ready by just pushing it right through there. It's super fun and satisfying, and I'm sure you could find it online. Relatively inexpensive. So it cuts them into smaller chunks that are fun to make and really, really safer and cool. So let's say you want to use strawberries. Strawberries are in season around here right now. I get in trouble all the time with my chef husband for cutting too much off the top, just because I want to get all those green leaves off. So once these are washed and clean, and by the way, all the vegetable and fruit prep washing can be done by your child. And let me back up and say, preparing to work with food is a great chance to practice that hand washing again. We always do that in the classroom. Before any food prep, before I give a lesson, we show it. I just have spared you here. You've heard enough about food handling and enough about hand washing forever. But let's say your strawberries are already clean. I'm sure you might have seen online, there's a technique where you can hull the strawberry with a straw. I don't have disposable plastic straws because we know they're really bad for the environment. So I tried it today with a bamboo straw, and it does work, but it requires some strength and pushing from the bottom straight up. Let's hope this works on TV. It didn't come out as great as my first time, but it got most of it off there. And so what it does is, you could try it with any straw that you have. You know what? A stainless steel straw will probably work even better because it's got a little bit less thickness. It's going to leave you with a strawberry that has no more leaves. When we're in the classroom, these are great for the guinea pig, but you could compost those. And then it's ready to slice. Now, people always ask, well, are you giving children knives in Montessori? We are, when it's appropriate and when they've had lessons with it, and knives that are safe. All right. So one of the ways that we use knives in the classroom is we can use these classic spreaders, the restaurant spreaders that they're maybe buttering toast with. They also have a serrated edge, a little bit of serration there, and they're great for cutting. They can even cut something like a carrot or celery with a little sawing action. So you can see that cut right through the berry there. But even if you had a spreader that was just like your icing spreader, strawberries are soft enough that they can get through that. And there's not a lot of risk there. There's no sharp edges. One of the other things that's kind of hot right now are these nylon knives. You can get them at Ross or TJ Maxx. Also in Montessori catalogs. And these can slice through quite a bit, but be really safe to your skin. And you want your child to only apply as much pressure as they need to. So these are a nice option. So let's say, let's use our garbage bowl as we go. And let's get a bowl for my fruit that is already prepped. I'm going to put it in here and talk about some of the things that your child can do. So if you're making guacamole at home, you're gonna wanna juice some limes. So I teach children, and you probably do this, to roll citrus before they slice it, so they get the juices going. And let's try that nylon knife on this. We're just sawing back and forth. I'm not using a lot of pressure, but I do need to use some pressure. And that's good for children to learn. In the classroom, I would be standing up, probably, or in my kitchen I would be, but I'm sitting down for this video so I can relax with you guys. And also, with something like an apple cutter, we will teach children to stand up to get a little bit more pressure when they're pushing down, some more leverage. So I managed to slice that lime. Make sure when you're working with children that you stop and smell things and look at things. These are the memories you're making. I mean, I still know exactly what it smelled like when I baked pizzelles with my grandmother, or when I sauteed onions with my mom, or what it felt like to chop nuts for our special cookies at the holidays. So your children will remember these things. All right, so if I'm going to put some lime with my strawberries, this is something children can do because it's going to be a really good fine motor. They're just squeezing. Look through your tools. Just go through that jar or that drawer where you keep all your utensils and think of what they can use. There are easier juicers, but I love that this is a twisting and turning, and it requires some pressure. So get your child, whether you're making guacamole, fruit salad, a nice lime dressing, because the greens are coming in now and they can harvest them too. Get your child to do the juicing. That's a wonderful thing. They can learn to operate orange juicers like this too, and even safe electric juicers. So let me show you something else. I was looking in the cabinet and I thought, well, I don't have an ice machine. Probably you do. But one of the other fun things that kids can do in the kitchen is to make any mundane task kind of cool. So if you set them up with a tray and an ice cube tray, maybe a restaurant tray or even a cookie sheet and a pitcher with lemonade, they would have practice pouring, and they could create some beautiful lemonade ice cubes or limeade. They could put a bit of strawberry in there, get really creative blueberries in there, and put them in the freezer for later. Teaches patience too, but a lot of fine motor control. Let's look at my basket here. So I had a piece of cucumber, and this is a great one to use with children. Let's talk about peeling. I have brought more than one peeler here. Yes, I have. When we teach peeling at school, and we do a lot of carrot cutting and cucumber peeling and potato peeling, especially when we're making latkes. Of course, what we're going to teach is for them to push away from the body with the peeler. And in my experience, if you have a choice, this type of peeler that runs horizontally is sometimes a little bit more kid-friendly. So give it a try, see what works for you. Making gazpacho in the heat of the summer, hopefully we're able to go out more, is a great way to cool off and nourish, and kids can do a lot of the parts of that. I've often done gazpacho in summer camp. So get your child peeling. They can do it. And if I wanted to slice this, I have some options. Let's use my garbage bowl. Here we go, cucumber peels. I could use this serrated cutter. We'll try that. That works. I could use this serrated cutter, the nylon one. That works. Or if I want to get really fancy, I can use a crinkle cutter, and we have these in the classroom. This is our one from carrot cutting. And if they help make, like, let's say you start prepping something that's going to need to cook for a while, have your child in the meantime make a crudité platter for the family. And if they're snacking the whole time, great, they're eating cucumber. How awesome is that? These are really fun. I'm going to put these in. Let's make an area that's finished work. So I'm going to move these over here. I don't mind that they have peel on them. And that's our cucumber. Okay, avocados. Oh, we love avocados, right? They're one of the things that you will need some help with. So I would go ahead and pre-slice it. Even adults can hurt themselves on avocado. But you could give them the halves like this. And then they can easily get in there with a spoon and go around that avocado and take it right out. You could save the seed to grow, but slicing avocado is something that's really fun. I'm going to put that over here. in my compost bucket. And easy. And so they could use any of the safe tools you have. Let's see, I'm even gonna get that icing spreader out now. Avocado, a nice ripe avocado, they can get through, and they can count slices, and they can have a good time, and mashing it to make a nice guacamole would be great too. Here's the point where I'm gonna say, hey, I'm so glad I have this wet cloth on hand. All right, so we've got some avocado. I'm gonna put that on my plate where I'm putting finished product. And let's say your child is helping you prep a fruit salad or fruit or vegetable plate for the day. One of the things that's cool for them to do is to get some toothpicks and place them in each of the pieces. It's great fine motor too, so that people can just come over and pick it up. Not that you're having a bunch of guests over, but someday we will again. So we've got our cucumber. I'm gonna move some things that I've already used over to this garbage bowl. I really need more room. Okay, and keep my wet cloth on hand. Let's talk about mango. Oh my goodness, mango, right? So they can slice through the mango with something like this, or you could do it for them. Stop and smell all the time. And then you can teach them. They're not going to get hurt here. They're just using the point of this nylon knife, this safer knife, to make vertical slices and then horizontal slices. And they can be prepping their own snack here. I definitely got this mango out mostly for my butterfly cafe, but then they can simply pop it up and bite away. That is so good. All right, but let's finish our video. Okay. So, apple cutting is something they do all the time in the classroom. They could peel it or not peel it. If you have one of these, please use it. If you don't have it, go and get one. It is so awesome. Of course, I picked an apple that's a little bit off center, but all of our kids in the Montessori classroom have practiced this, and it's just so satisfying and wonderful, and they really know how to do it. So we're gonna put some of those on our plate, a mixed fruit and veg over here. And that's going to be awesome. This also teaches division, the way that the apple is sliced into 8 equal pieces, if you have a relatively uniform apple. And then core can be used for our butterfly cafe or for compost. All right, so we're going to move that over. We're going to slice some banana too. And if your child has trouble opening a banana, what I didn't learn until well into my adulthood is that this is actually the top of the banana. You could get them started. When we have these on snack, often we'll have them in half, and we'll just, banana peel flying. We'll just give it a little cut so that they can get in there. Anytime that they're peeling their own fruit, that's great, and vegetables. They can peel garlic, they can peel edamame. I'm not gonna bore you with all of that, but save your peels. We'll use those for the butterflies too. You don't need one of those fancy banana cutters. You could just have your child slice them into circles or semicircles, half circles. You can talk about shapes, you can talk about numbers, you can talk about color, flavor. There's so much to talk about with food, and have them make a little banana tray. Okay, so what are some of the other things that I brought over? Let me clear my space a little bit with some of these extra tools. It'd be easier if I were at the sink, but I'm glad I'm here with you guys. We'll move some of these beautiful banana pieces over to our platter. I can't wait to eat some of this and give some to the butterflies. They are going to be getting a treat here. Okay, I'm going to move that over. Make sure that you have a scrubbing brush that your child can use. This is kind of a larger one, but at school we have smaller ones because scrubbing potatoes, scrubbing carrots, washing your vegetables is a great and satisfying task that they can take care of for you. I'm going to move that over. This is another way to hand juice, of course. So that's a great task for your child. I'm going to move that scooper. I wanted to show a little bit of melon balling too, just to get you thinking about these things. It's not that you guys don't know how to melon ball, but maybe you don't have the perfect tool. And I didn't. This is actually my cookie scoop. I don't know where our melon baller went, but you can make do. And so just like the avocado, they can just gently use a flat-ish spoon to pull out the seeds. You don't have to do this part for your kids. They can do that. And then you can show them how to dig into the melon. Watermelon, cantaloupe is a really nice one. And scoop that out and then just release it. So they've got a beautiful piece of cantaloupe there to serve themselves or to serve to you. Definitely try that too. One other thing that I wanted to show, we do a lot of grating, especially again when we're making latkes. And put the stuff in the garbage bowl over here. So glad I have that handy. And some cheese graters I find myself grating myself with. But if you don't already have one of these, a super zester is a great thing to have because it does grate your cheese very finely, or the zest of a lemon or lime or orange, but it's relatively safe. You can see I can rub it on the back of my hand and it's not going to hurt me. So if you have a hard cheese, this is a great thing for your child to be able to do and kind of watch it snow. I don't want to do, oh, that looks good. And they could do the same. We're going to pull back. Where's my lime? They can zest your limes for you. And you're still going to teach, of course, to keep their fingers back. But, that lime juice. I'm in Margaritaville here. But there is a very low risk that they could hurt themselves with a super zester. So look around at what you already have in your kitchen, or if you're placing some kind of online order and there's something that you could add to the fun that would make it great for you and your child to spend some more time getting in the kitchen, do that. Sit down, and think about what is it that you want to make this week. There's a reason why when we went into quarantine, flour sold out and yeast sold out everywhere, because baking and cooking connects us to our ancestors. It connects us to humanity, and it is a perfect place for you to plug in with your child. Make it just a no mistake zone. Have fun with it, laugh, try new things, eat new things. You know that if they grow it, or if they cook it, or if they do both, your child is more likely to be an adventurous eater. And how cool is all of that? So thanks for listening. Thanks for keeping me company while I prepped all this stuff for our next lesson on making a butterfly cafe. And I hope you're having so much fun in the kitchen and taking care of yourselves. Take care. Bye.